Live.
Should I start talking now then? I don't know, I need a drink.
That could be arranged.
Okay.
Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for coming out here to the beach. I'm Beverly Bambry, and I'm a publicist and marketing person. I work with a lot of science fiction, fantasy, horror, weird things. I've even done some Bizarro, which is perhaps how I connected with Raw Dog back in the day. I'm going to be talking today about social media and authors and kind of some practical ways of making use of it. There's a lot of advice out there, and I think a lot of it's kind of bullshit. So hopefully this is an all ages program, sorry. Because it really has to fit you. And one of the things I was saying earlier to everyone else was, I came up really through a lot of dark fiction with a lot of these people who were really like, oh, I'm too cool or too serious for social media, But authors' jobs have changed a lot. I mean, authors have always had to promote themselves to some degree, and that's not new. But the degree that authors have to promote themselves now has changed dramatically, even in just the last few years. And so that's part of why social media has become important. It's a way of making connections in a world where you might not maybe see as many people face to face. And audiences are all spread around, and there's of course a lot more books being published just all of the time. Even if you take away self-published, small presses have proliferated, large presses make more stuff. So that's why authors have to at least consider social media. I know some people have been dropping out of it recently, but most people are still in it somehow. So, like I said, if you have questions, feel free to ask. I'm not going to do a separate Q&A period necessarily. So that's it. Do you have any questions just to get started? Is there anything you're specifically going to want to cover that you know for sure? I'm mostly going to talk about Facebook and Twitter, but if you have another platform you'd like to ask about, just so I can be thinking about it.
Sorry.
A little Instagram.
Sure, Instagram.
I was curious about Snapchat.
Mm-hmm. I can talk about that too.
LinkedIn, and how it relates to professional life.
What did you say, sir?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn? I think LinkedIn, I'll start with that. I don't think you should worry too much about it as an author, unless you have other services to sell. Like if you're an editor or something, I think it's good to have a profile, but you're not going to be a lot of readers on LinkedIn, I don't think. So I personally don't really worry about it too much from your perspective. Would you have other services you'd be trying to sell, or mostly just kind of would be for networking?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't spend a lot of time on it. Again, it's always okay to have a profile up. That never hurts anything, but I wouldn't spend time. Plus, LinkedIn ads are really expensive. Really expensive. So, okay, so most of us are using probably Facebook and or Twitter at this point, and Instagram actually has become a lot more popular. The main thing really is to remember what's the purpose of social media. The purpose of you as an author using social media is going to be slightly different for each person, but the main thing is you want to connect with more readers. You want to hopefully expand the number of people who are going to buy your book, or at least read your book if you don't have a financial goal, but I'm sure your publisher has at least a small financial goal somewhere in there. So, and social media is social, and this is something I think a lot of people have lost track of. And if you use social media just as a broadcast service and you're just always, saying the same thing over and over again, people will just stop seeing you. They'll glaze over. They might not follow you, but they very well will not really actually see what you're doing or hear what you're saying anymore. So I think most people kind of know that, but I think in practice, people can still forget. So it's good to just kind of take a look and see, am I actually being social? Am I talking to people? Am I replying to people? And don't forget that's the key, because that's how you actually build an audience. And the thing is, it's slow. Don't buy followers. Purchased followers are completely useless. They're not going to read your book. They're not going to necessarily retweet you or anything. They're not going to be people that have interest in you. So don't worry about your numbers growth. I mean, yeah, growing numbers is good. It's cool. It's probably important, over the long term, but do it slowly. Do it slowly, organically. Appreciate the people that you got. That kind of thing. So you want to also balance out a bit between authors and readers. And here's kind of what I'm going to coming into some more specifics here in a bit. Because it's really easy and fun and important also to network with other authors and publishers, and that's great and that's important. And there's a large community. You can be following a few thousand people and have almost all of those people, be authors or editors or publishers, people in the industry. And it's important to keep connecting with those people. I mean, that's why we're here. We have these types of things. But if you want to expand past the professional circle to people who are just kind of reading books, that's a little bit different. And in fact, we actually have one reviewer here who has magically somehow, gotten really involved, and that's great. But these people are these rare, precious jewels, and this is kind of, you want to find more of these guys. But one way, and here's kind of where some practical stuff starts, how I, for my clients, help them find people to connect with who maybe are kind of readers, the kinds of people they really want to grow with. So I have them search for things, what's a similar book to yours? Or a movie, or something that somebody who likes X might like your book, And both Facebook search has improved. It used to really suck. It's gotten better. And Twitter's is already pretty good. I know, Facebook search is not great. It's not great, but it's better than it used to be. Because I think we're going to cover public posts and things like that. But if you look at who's mentioning this title, who's reading this, does this person talk about a book that I really love, and that sort of thing. And what I would encourage them to do is when, spend a little bit of time, even if it's only 15 minutes a week or something. You don't have to, you don't need to take out a loan to be self-employed to do social media. You've got to fit it into your life. But do that searching. So, and then just reply to people. Don't reply and say, hey, you might like my book. Don't do that. That's actually not what you should do. But just say, hey, I really loved that too. And just kind of start those conversations with people. And the thing is, again, it's slow. It's not an instant result thing necessarily. But those people that you actually start to connect to will come to like and respect you. And they're much more likely to actually read your stuff, connect with you, or, read your stuff, purchase your stuff, if they actually like you and kind of have had some conversations with you. And that's what you put in your profile. You put your book in your profile. You put all the, here's my cool stuff there. And then people are like, oh, this person was pretty cool. They said something pretty smart. And then they might go back and just say, who is this person? Go look at your profile, and that's where you're going to have your links and stuff. So even though it's going to feel weird at first, probably, especially on Facebook, this is almost more of a Twitter thing. It's going to feel weird at first kind of replying to random strangers, but tweets are public. I mean, people want to have these conversations. That's why they're out there. And generally, if you've been listening to what they are saying and saying, hey, I like what you like, people are going to welcome that. And I know if you're making a bit more shy, that could feel unnatural. But this is a way to connect with people that are more like you. So has anybody ever done any Twitter searching, looking for audience, anything like that? Okay. Just one person, two people. So that means there's a lot of potential for people to expand audience if that's what they want to do. And I assume that's why you're here, is because you'd like to know more about that. So, so that's really that portion of things. Because building audience, this is kind of the sad truth. This is kind of the no BS part of it. It's not quick. Building audience isn't quick. It's going to take time. It's probably going to take multiple books. But you just keep going, just one step at a time. Take your 10 or 15 minutes a week for research. Do your 10 or 15 minutes a day on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is you're using. If you can have more time, fine. But if you don't, just do what you can do. It can't take over your life. You've got to keep writing. You've got to keep being creative. So it can't take over your life. Now, Chuck Wendig, does anybody here look at Chuck Wendig's social media?
Yeah.
He's like the most prolific person in the world. He tweets all day, he Facebooks all day, but he also writes like 4 books a year. I don't know how he does it. Most of us are not going to be Chuck Wendig. I'm certainly not. If I'm on Facebook all day, I probably am not doing other stuff. So, I close that tab sometimes. But, he's actually an interesting example in other ways. Again, not in the prolific nature, because he's somebody who's really responsive and really genuine. He swears, he makes jokes, he apologizes if he's offended someone. Like, he's a real human being on his social media. And that's part of, I think, what's drawn people to him. I know he's kind of a well-known author now, but I mean, when he got started, he was less well-known. Part of how he drew people to him was just by being this person who's maybe more charismatic than me or many of us. And I talked to him when he came to Toronto, and we chatted in person for a bit. Because I worked with him with some of my clients a few times, so, it was like, oh, hey, we had our little chat. But he was saying, the truth is, he actually does not swear that much in person. And he's actually a little more shy than you would believe, but he just has this persona built up that he, works for him. It helps him feel safe. It helps him feel kind of like it's a level of performance, I guess, that he's comfortable with. So it's interesting. What he does is he does what he's comfortable with, and he's consistent with it. So this is a lesson you can take from somebody who's really a social media powerhouse, is to, again, be yourself. If you like your cats and you want to share your cats, share your cats. Author accounts with cats are awesome. Yeah, you might feel sad that people like your cat pictures more than when you share your book sales. But these are also people who are going to be like, oh, I like this person. This person's real. I like cats too. I connect with this, So that's kind of the sort of thing. So what are some, segueing in, I guess, from the Chuck Wendig account, what are some things that are good accounts to look at? There are people I like to talk about. He's one of them. Sam Sykes is another author. I like his account. He makes me laugh a lot. I don't know if you know him. I don't.
My book.
Yeah, no. But he's actually really, really funny. And he's another person. Caitlin Kidder is another author. There's a good number of them out there. Actually, Mike Arnson is good on social media. Yeah, no, it's true. We've actually been following each other for a long time on social media. This is our first time meeting in person, but because again, combination of things. He puts up little poetry bits, funny things. Yeah, talks about his book too, but like he's somebody I enjoy following. Even if I didn't like it, so follow him, but
I got everybody to click on that link.
And yeah. And again, you're yourself though. I know what I'm getting. If you're gonna say something, I know it could be really weird. I like that, But that's the audience you're going for. If your audience were reading happily ever after romances, then you would be doing a bad job. But that's not what you're right. So looking at those accounts you admire, find those. Who are people you love following, who you think are cool, entertaining, they're selling a lot of books, something aspirational. What are they doing? Actually stop and look at them. What is their combination of tweets? How often do they talk about their book? And they should. You have to talk about your book sometimes. I mean, if you don't ever, then you're doing yourself a disservice. But it shouldn't be all the time. Because again, the glaze over thing. There are a lot of people I glaze over. Occasionally I go in and purge them. And then they, of course, unfollow me almost instantly. Because they probably were only following me for a follow back anyway. And speaking of which, I'm not a fan of follow back. I get when people do it. It's nice, it makes people feel good, at least in the short term. But if you're following people, or if people are following you only because you followed them back, they're not necessarily actually people who want to engage with you. They're people who might just want their numbers higher, right? So I actually encourage you to not always follow everyone back. I think, for a publisher, maybe slightly different because you are going to have such a wide variety of things you don't really know. But for an individual author, I say keep it as low as you comfortably can. Like, who's actually interesting to you? Who do you want to talk to? And hey, if you're like me, you follow back a lot of people because I'm really enthusiastic and I like a lot of people. But you'll note a lot of authors are only maybe following back 200, 300, 400 people, even if they have 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000 followers. And it's okay. You don't have to aspire to that sort of percentage, but just remember, only really follow people, whether it's Facebook groupings, because I have people into groups, like my family's in a group, so I can block them from certain things, or, I have my clients in a group. If I'm say I want to wind up feeling, depressed one day or something, I don't really want my clients to see that, right? So, Facebook groupings are good because a lot of stuff happens on our Facebook profiles now, at least for people more my age. Because Facebook pages, let's jump into that really quick. You probably should have a Facebook page. I think it's good. They come up in search engine results. But unless you're spending a lot of money or you have a huge number of followers, I find that for many individual authors, Facebook pages have just lost all value as far as actually posting on it. Like, I have my business page on Facebook and I do post on it. But if it's anything really important, I'll often just put it on my personal profile because so many more people see it there. And it's tough because Facebook pages used to be really cool. And again, they're still kind of good to have. But it's really hard to cultivate. Yeah, I see some nodding over here. It's hard to cultivate an actual interactive following because if you don't put money into it, it's not even going to be shown to your followers. So
you would advocate basically just opening your Facebook.
Yeah, yes and no. Yes and no. Okay.
First, I've been really resistant to that.
Yeah, but here's what I do with mine. I'm a really just in case people didn't hear. There was somebody here talking about not wanting to open her Facebook profile because of privacy, and that's absolutely fair. But here's what I do, because I accept most friend requests from people who are clearly authors or in the community. I reject plenty of them too, but I put them on restricted because Facebook restricted means they only see your public posts. They can't tag you on things. So I highly advocate if you're going to have people on your personal profile and you don't know them or you don't want to be intimate with them or whatever, put them on restricted. Again, can't tag you. They only see your public posts. It's a really safe way of integrating the networking aspects into your personal profile. I have a lot of people on restricted until I've interacted with them more, and then maybe I'm looking to acquaintances, something like that. But a lot of people just are going to stay there forever because we actually don't end up talking a whole lot because they're, again, people who are just like, oh, an author or something, right? So obviously, you got to do what you're comfortable with. I'm not a super private person, but I recognize many people are. So your comfort level is really the main thing. It's just that as far as Facebook goes, your page isn't just, it's not going to give you what you want to unless you're putting a ton of money in it. So, Twitter is more simple in that way. You can still make lists, and you probably should. I have been hesitant because I follow like about 1,000 people, and I didn't start out using lists, so I'm like, I don't want to organize all these people. But it's probably something that would pay off for you if you know you want to see a certain group of people and maybe respond to those. Like if you have, you're prospecting for new followers or something, maybe you have them in a list, you remember to look and reply to them once in a while. Thank you for joining us.
I was on the webinar.
Yay. So, all right, so Instagram. Let me talk a little more about Instagram. I love Instagram, mostly for personal reasons, because I like posting my cats. I do probably more selfies than I should. I don't know. I just have fun with it, right? And I occasionally do, though, put my clients' book covers up, because book covers can be beautiful. And that's one thing, actually, that Raw Dog does really well. I applaud you. Your book covers always look really professional. And as we all know, it's not true, actually. We're all small presses. And so, I've definitely put some of these covers up, and my current favorite, actually, is Maria Alexander, who can't be here today because, of course, she lives in California. But her book, Snow, just has such a gorgeous cover, and I'm so thrilled to be working on that one. So, even though I don't use Instagram a lot for business, I have my link in my profile. I have a few hashtags, just in case somebody's doing some searching, And people use hashtags on Instagram more than Twitter, by the way. Hashtags have more value on Instagram. Because, when I post pictures of my cats, sorry, it's happening again, they're tortoiseshell. I had no idea until Instagram that there's a whole bunch of people out there that obsessed over tortoiseshell cats. So I found all these hashtags, torty, tortude, tortoiseshell, and I have them just, text file, and I paste them every time I do a cat picture. And I get a ton of people I don't know who look at the picture. Sometimes they comment.
The Siamese of Instagram, it's insane.
The Siamese, I'm sure. And I follow a lot of dogs. I follow a lot of animal profiles on Instagram. It's kind of my happy place, right? That's how I curated my list. I mean, you're going to do what you want to do, of course. But anyway, yeah, the hashtags really work on Instagram. So, looking into what, again, other people might like the same things as you, like, I don't know, if you're writing some weird, crazy slasher, I don't know, parasitic wasp porn or something, I'm sure you would probably find at least a few people who are looking up parasitic wasps, and a lot of people looking up porn, so there's that. But yeah, hashtags on Instagram are awesome. All this said,
It's all fuzz.
It's okay. I need to sip coffee. Yeah, I'm not a morning person, but I was on before 10. I applaud you for helping that happen. Anyway, all that said, I'm not sure I would actually use Instagram a ton to find readers, because I'm not completely sure how effective it would be. Again, if you have a visually captivating cover, put that out there. Hashtag it appropriately. And by the way, after this is over, if you want some help later on, like finding some appropriate hashtag or something, we can spend a few minutes doing that. Without researching, I couldn't really say off the top of my head. But again, even more than in other places, this is kind of where you might want to have pictures of other stuff you like. You out having fun, your dog or whatever, because Instagram is so visual. It's completely visual. That if you're not happy, sorry. If you're not being really, really real or interesting or showing something visually interesting, it's probably not going to draw a ton of attention. So I'd say hashtagging, visual interest, but it's a great place to be that real person.
Can I give a piece of advice?
Yeah, absolutely.
So when I first got on Instagram, especially in terms of other like book reviewers, like Bookstagram is a thing, and I would get really intimidated by people do like these gorgeous little like vignettes with book covers and little things, and I was like, oh, these people got like 50 likes and stuff. I don't have time, and I don't have like just cute little things in my house to do. Shoving a book next to a cat and posting it, no filter, no nothing, you can talk a little bit. Like, as long as you hashtag it appropriately, you get the same number of likes. So it's not as complicated.
You know, that's a good point. Yeah. I'm gonna say this again in case there's people on the webinar.
Yeah. I want that to be the name of the marketing book. Shove a book next to it.
I'm gonna repeat for the people who were on the webinar in case you didn't hear. Hondo was talking a lot about, you know, the Bookstagram kind of thing where a lot of reviewers have nice vignettes of books with, you know, coffee or wine glasses or flowers or whatever cool things, and she was just saying she wasn't sure what to do, then realized that she shoves a book next to a cat and then hashtags that appropriately, that it gets a lot of likes. Again, books plus cats. People love cats, man. They just love cats. They take it over the internet. So that's a really good point. This is a good way of doing it. I know a guy who does a comic called Ghost Cat, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a Toronto guy. I don't know him super well, but we've met through cons, and actually I follow him on Instagram because he posts like his sketches. Obviously he's a visual artist, but I'm wondering how many cat people he gets though, because it's called Ghost Cat. So that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Sorry, I got off track a little bit. I apologize. But okay, yeah, right. So the traits of good accounts. So yeah, find those people you admire. Try to emulate some of what they're doing if you think it's working for them. Hashtagging, especially on Instagram. Twitter to a certain degree. Facebook hashtags are mostly useless, really. I mean, it's worth having them, I guess, in case, but don't over hashtag, though, if your whole post is hashtags. Oh, okay, Instagram, that's okay. Sorry, actually, Instagram, you can often, instead of captioning it, you can just put hashtags, and that's actually probably the one place it's okay to do that, but not really Twitter. If the whole thing is just all hashtags, people are just kind of, oh, what's happening here, you know?
I find that 5 is the maximum.
5 is more than I could do, even. But, yeah.
But 5 would be the
For
absolute
sure.
maximum. 3 is good.
Yep.
Less is more.
Yeah, absolutely. Less is more with hashtagging on Twitter, and people do use it. I think, I know the am writing, I think probably everyone's heard of that one. I actually go through it sometimes, and mostly it's actually pretty cool. Again, that's more of a connecting with authors one, but you can really find some people actually really sharing some of their vulnerabilities or good writing tips or something. So I do like to go through that once in a while. Of course, for me, that's prospecting for clients. So because, but that's how I meet people. I've met people on Twitter. And part of it is actually just, going, oh, hey, yeah, I totally know how that goes, da-da-da-da. And then after we talk a few times, they're like, oh, hey, I didn't know you did that. And I'm like, oh, really? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm going to write. So the other thing is, in these successful accounts, they don't focus solely on their own work, as we've been talking about. And they community build by sharing other people's work as well that they like. And that's one thing that this bunch is actually really good at. It's part of why I like this group of people so much. I know, I'm not just saying this, like she knows. I mean, I've been following her since the beginning, or y'all, or whatever. Because there is such a sense of community, and I think there's so much value in that. Finding other authors you genuinely like. I mean, sure, share whatever you want, but it's really valuable to an author, a fellow author, if you say, I read the first chapter and I can't put it down, or something like that. Oh my God, I love his new cover, for his new book or something. Just sharing stuff that is not yours sometimes it's just good. It's just social skills. And I know social skills are kind of hard for some people, like I get that. I only pretend to have good social skills, really. But, there's just something about being willing to talk about other people. It just already makes you kind of appear to have more humility than a lot of people out there on the internet. And I think people are often drawn to that. And that's not just because I live in Canada. Even Americans are you know? So, and they tend to be highly responsive again. You know, some people, you know, if you're really famous, you can't respond. Like, you just can't. But most of us have not gotten that famous yet, right? So, I'm certainly not. So I have time to reply to people, and I'm certain that you do too. So if someone asks you, I mean, if you're just being a jerk and harassing us, just block them. Don't engage with that. But if someone's actually commenting on something, you know, reply to them, have a conversation a little bit, you know, and that's a way of making somebody feel good about you, and that's really a lot of what marketing in general is, right? Just kind of getting people to feel good about you and your product. So, again, using your own voice. I kind of jumped ahead on some of this stuff. Sorry, once I get talking, it's hard to stop me. But using your own, yeah, soul sister over here, Jessica McHugh, everyone. But, for once, I am not the loudest person at a convention. For the first time in my life. But
That's what I'm here for.
But yeah, using your own voice. Again, you know, I happen to like to swear. I like the F word. I don't use it all the time. But sometimes when I move to do it, I do it. And I applied for a job with Buffer once, which is a social media tool. And I'm convinced now that that's actually why I wasn't hired. Because I realized that they look at all your social and they actually have it hooked up to a Buffer staff kind of thing. And I'm like, I would use way too many S-bombs. They're never gonna. Like, it was almost instant. I was like, oh, I thought I did really well on your test. But I realized, yeah, and you know what? I don't want to stop being me. I'm kind of a saucy, salty person. And I want people to know that about me. So, you know, I was a really high-paying job with Buffer, sadly. Unfortunately. On social media all day, and I could have been. But it's not to be. But the point is, be yourself. You know, because I have a lot of chats with people from all over the place, in part because we can make each other laugh and everything, right? And I encourage you to do that. If you're a serious person and you're really scholarly, do that. There's going to be people who are going to be drawn to that. If you're really being super fake, we all have to adjust ourselves a bit, again, for privacy, if nothing else. You know, you don't want people to know necessarily what your inner vulnerabilities are. You don't have to share that much. You know, maybe every great once in a while, it's about writing and not, like, you know, something bigger. You don't want to be that person who's always constantly on social media talking about your problems all the time either. But you can still be that version of yourself that you want to share with people, right? Like, you know, what you're struggling with as far as writing, or, you know, gosh, having a day job while you're writing sure is tough sometimes, isn't it? Or, you know, whatever it is, that's you. And if you happen to also be a really private person, that's okay. Just find other stuff to tweet about that isn't only about your writing, I guess, would be the only other advice, whatever that's going to be.
I had a tip.
Yeah.
You're the pro, so let me know if it's completely online. But I think you should be posting things in social media that if you were to write a nonfiction book, that's the stuff you would write.
That's really great, you know, and I would never put it this way, and I probably will steal this forever now. If you didn't hear
At Mike Arnzen.
Yeah, at Mike Arnzen. He will be live here later, folks. Here all weekend. But he just said, when you're posting other things, if you were to write a nonfiction book, it should be the kind of things you'd want to read in your nonfiction book. Is that a fair approximation? Yeah. And I think that's a really interesting way of looking at it. And, you know, and it kind of depends on the day and the mood for me. Like, some days I really just want to look at cats and owls and dogs on Instagram. And other days I'm in a more analytical mindset and I might want other things. So this is kind of where, again, that comes in. So I know that was a bit jumbled because everyone's content is going to be different.
Musicals and kink.
Musicals and kink over here. That's good. Again,
I click on that hashtag.
if that's you, that's great. You don't have to hide that. Because your audience is going to want to know that about you. They, you know, jugs and kilts. Exactly.
Oh God, it's gonna be a thing.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so those are things I think you should look for in accounts that you might want to emulate, because a lot of it, because it's social and it's kind of squishy and it's hard to really say, must do this step, must do that step. There are people who try to say that, but the truth is, I think those are some of the BS artists. Like, there's no perfect way to do social media. There's no one right way to do it. I think, again, as an author in this world, you certainly should be, but it's got to fit for you. So find those people who are doing things you like and try to do what they do, you know? I flipped the wrong way. Hold on, I need to flip my page the other way. I'm sorry. So, one of the other things I think a lot of people forget, particularly chatty people like myself on social media, is the listening part of it. Listening a lot. You know, because once you start to realize that you might want to do some research and start to connect with new people, one of the ways you're going to do that is by hearing their stories and hearing what they're interested in. So it goes into that research thing. Whether it's the researching new people or people you already know, people want to be heard. We all, when we say something, we want to be heard. And, you know, noisy world, like if you're a quiet person trying to talk over Beverly and Jessica, for example, you know, it might take you a while to spit something out, you know, and sometimes social media can feel like that. And so that's why listening can be valuable. So even if you don't talk a lot, when you say something, it can have impact, right? And you get to be, like, I'm trying to think. I think really, in a way, again, sorry, I'm like more butt kissing of Jennifer over here, but back when I was doing that social media for teasing publications, that was, again, one of the things that I liked. Because I just liked what she shared. I liked, you know, the kinds of articles she would talk about. She was talking about other things aside from, you know, raw books. It was just fun. I felt like this is a group I want to connect with. You know, this is a publisher that seems really interesting and cool. And that was, I didn't think about it at the time, but looking back, that was part of it. Because there's all kinds of fun stuff. You know, articles about weird things, you know, or something she would post that I was like, oh, that's really cool. So again, sorry, that was the listening. That was the listening part. But that I learned that by not just broadcasting all the time, but by reading other people's stuff. So it could definitely pay off for you to do that as well. Oh God, I can't read my handwriting. Don't do notes in messy handwriting. That's another tip. Oh yeah, so quality versus quantity is the other big thing. Because again, sometimes you're only going to have 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day. But whatever it is, be consistent. Do it most of the time. Even if you're only going to devote that 5 or 10 minutes, do it almost every day. You don't have to hook it up to your phone if you really don't want to. You know, I happen to like doing that, but I know it's not for everyone. But just consistently do it, because if you take that 5 or 10 minutes every day and you do it consistently, you're going to start to see that growth over time. It might be 2 years before you jump 3,000 followers or whatever it's going to be, but the slow, it's like weight loss, right? People are like, oh, if you do it slow, you know, it's going to sit better and all that sort of thing, right? It's kind of like that growing your audience on social media. If you do it slow, that's the quality, right? And if you only do one tweet or one Facebook post or one Instagram thing a few times a week, you know what? If it's something that really works for you, and that's fine. The consistency is the key. Being quality is the key. You don't have to constantly post things. You actually don't. Sometimes I know you hear that, but I think really, if you've got only one tweet a day in you, then that's what you should do. Do that, and then respond to a few people, and you can be done. You know, if it's not something that you enjoy as much. Obviously, if you enjoy it, have at it, right? But for the people who are really trying to fit it into a busy life, or who are worried about being overwhelmed with it, so. Now, we don't have a ton of time left. I think I've actually said a lot of what I have to say. I said do not buy followers already, right? Let me reiterate that. It's useless. It's a waste of your money. It's really just don't do it, okay? So yeah, really, I'd say that's most of what I really had to say, or all of it in general. But I apologize again, it was early for me. But what are questions? Like, let's get into more of that. Jim.
Periscope.
Oh yeah, we were talking about Snapchat too. Yeah. That's right. Periscope. Again, I like it. It's fun, but it's kind of one of those where now Facebook Live, and if you've got more people on Facebook, now you might as well just do Facebook Live. So for Periscope. But again, it's the sort of thing where I don't know how good the discovery is. I've played with it a bit. I've done little marketing chat things on it a few times. And it was always just people I knew, which is awesome, because I love you guys. But I don't think I drew anyone new from it. I don't know how it would work. I don't know enough to be able to actually tell you how you might find people. I believe it's associated with Twitter, right? It's a Twitter product, I think. Yeah. So, you know, I don't know, again, how hashtagging would work. It might be worth looking at if you really like to talk live and kind of have extemporaneous, you know, things. But you really still have to be able to put the link out, I think, to other places so people can discover it. The discoverability is the thing for me with Periscope that I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but
Is Goodreads worth the time?
Oh, Goodreads, yeah. That's, I think you should, again, like Facebook pages, definitely have yourself a page on Goodreads. you know, if you don't want to read your reviews, don't read your reviews. That's fine. You know, I mean, that's okay. But I think having that profile up, it's valuable because when people are Googling authors, the first things that tend to come up are Amazon, Goodreads, Facebook. Like, because I mean, I'm always Googling authors. Part of what I do. So yeah, the Goodreads profile works. There are also Goodreads librarians, which I actually am one of them, and I actually will edit things for clients sometimes if there's 2 versions of a book or something. So if you've got an issue, you can go to the Goodreads librarians and get some things fixed too. But yeah, but as far as spending time on Goodreads, I think if it's going to be valuable, you're going to have to spend a lot of time on Goodreads. And so that's kind of the thing. I think it can be great. There's the community, there's tons of people who like certain types of books, but it's so time consuming to get in on a community like that. That's already really well formed. Just one sec. So yeah, I think it's good. I think if you really want to work it, you're going to need time though. So that's the downside.
Is there ever a time when an author should actually engage with somebody that's critical about their book?
That is an amazing question. Should an author ever engage with somebody who's critical of their book? No. I have nothing else to say. No, because first of all, reviewers are allowed to have their opinions. And I'll tell you, I have a very much unnamed former client who was really mad about some 2-star reviews. But let me tell you, they were thoughtful reviews. They went through, these people read the book, and they said what they didn't like, what they liked. She was livid, though. She was calling them haters, this and this. And I'm like, whoa. I got these people who I like to review your book, and they took the time to read it, and they're giving you advice. So anyway, you know, if you can't deal, if you're going to turn into this monster lady when you read your bad reviews, then don't read your reviews. Because you got to be a grown-up about that. People are allowed to have their opinions. You put your stuff out there. Reviewers are not paid. They're spending their valuable time doing you a favor. And so no, you don't engage if they don't like your book. Unless it's thank you for the feedback, but even that, I don't think you should bother. So
The only time I've ever had an author like respond to one of my book reviews on my blog, it was a 2-star review, and he said thank you, and like I could tell that it was actually genuine.
And that's so there you go. And so again, I don't know what the audio is like, so I'm just gonna repeat. Hannah was saying somebody did respond to a review she did that was a 2-star review, and all he did was say thank you, and she felt that was very genuine. So yeah, I can see that because I think again it shows humility. It shows that you really actually want to make your writing better. Like I think that could be okay. Generally though, even good reviews, no more than a thank you. And honestly, if you don't say anything, that's okay. I mean, if you know each other or you're part of a small social circle, I mean, maybe.
What about like sharing good reviews? Just be like, this is what other people are saying about it. Is that a good?
Oh, in what context?
Like if somebody, like, because if I'm writing a blog post and I gave, Cerise's book 5 stars, would it be okay for Cerise to then like link to the blog post?
Oh yeah. Yep. Authors can definitely share good reviews. Like if you want to share any reviews, some authors share their 1-star reviews. Like I mean, definitely feel free to crow about a good review.
One of our most popular videos on YouTube is D. Harlan Wilson reading a 1-star review of his.
That's right. Yep. D. Harlan Wilson reading a 1-star
There's
review.
really valuable things to say in them. I mean, it's just.
Or they're funny.
Honest.
Either they're
funny.
valuable or they're funny.
Maximus 1-star reviews.
Oh yeah, there's
So check out 1-star reviews of readings and stuff. That's a lot of fun. Somebody else asked about Snapchat earlier. Let me get to that really quick. Snapchat is an interesting one. Because, I mean, the primary audience right now on Snapchat is very young. It still is trending very young. I have made some use out of it in a way. Although what's hilarious is when I first logged in, almost none of my friends were already on Snapchat because I'm old, right?
Yeah.
And the people that were popping up were the high school co-op students that I was working with and stuff like that. So, but that said, it is growing in slightly older demographics now. People in 20s and 30s and occasionally 40s are, checking it out. But again, as an audience growth tool, it's currently pretty weak because, I mean, you can put out what your Snapchat is. You can do fun things. You can do fun videos. Like, you can have a great time with it. But as far as audience growth, there's not a hashtagging feature yet. If you want to pay to be featured on there, I'm not even sure how to do it yet. I think it's actually, if it exists, it's probably just for large companies right now because the only things I see being featured are either really big events where everyone's Snapchatting for that event or large corporate entities. So it's a lot of fun. Feel free to do it. But if you only have very limited time, I would not focus a lot on Snapchat right now, personally.
Yeah, sorry if I missed this, but would you say that like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, that's like the holy trinity of?
It generally is for now, and I would use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram as holy trinity. Sorry, but I think, if you've got limited time, I'd say just pick one thing and do it. Do it well. This is you don't have to do everything. Because if you do everything and you suck at it, then it's not actually helping you. And actually, blogging is another thing I wanted to talk about. Don't blog if you don't want to. If you're a slow writer, have a website. Please, God, have a website. Please have a website. But you don't have to blog. Actually, I'm a terrible blogger. I'm going to say, and it would actually benefit my business more than it would you as an author. And I'm still not a great one because I'd rather be doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's the whole no bullshit thing, though. I also feel like I've already said what I have to say. So, but really, if you want to blog, if you've got something to say, do it. Absolutely. But if you find it's actually eating into your time and you feel really pressured about it, you don't have to really do it. Again, pick something you're going to do and stick with it. And if you've got the time and the energy, you can do more than that. I mean, the important thing is you want to also be writing. Because one of the best marketing things really you can do for yourself as a writer is to write more books. I mean, that's conventional wisdom, and I believe it's true. So, yeah, I mean, if it's going to eat into your time, you've got to decide your time. You've got to decide. Yeah, just keep writing. Just keep writing. And that's the thing, because some people do try to do it all, and they often don't do a great job at it. One thing here, another Instagram tip, sorry, just thinking back, is you know how you can share on Twitter and Facebook automatically, and I do that. I've actually stopped sharing it on Twitter because it does only do the link, and I got lazy. And one of my friends was saying, you're supposed to be all good at this social media stuff, but you're just doing these Instagram links, and I'm like, that's true. So now if I want to share it, because on your phone or whatever, it'll save your Instagram picture. I'll just go with Instagram picture and then on my phone and share it to Twitter. It really only takes another second, honestly. So that's one thing to be careful. Don't be lazy about Instagram. Any other questions or comments?
I noticed something that. Sorry. What? As far as if I'm sharing an excerpt or something like that, it tends to not get too many views. But if I attach a picture to it or a GIF or something, it tends to get more.
Let me ask you a question about that. Jessica was saying if she shares an excerpt or something, it doesn't get too many views, but if she adds a picture or a GIF or GIF, however you want to pronounce it, she gets more views. But I have a clarifying question for you.
Okay.
Are people clicking your link more? Is it a link to an excerpt or?
Yeah, excerpt on
okay.
On Facebook, I'll just put some quote or something from the book.
The real question is whether people are actually reading it or not, right?
Yeah.
More views, but are they actually reading it? I don't know, and that's the problem with doing that is we can't actually really accurately measure what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So you can I can mix it up a little. Maybe you're going to get fewer reads on things that are just text, but they might also be people who are really going to be quality views.
Yeah,
right.
If it's something that it's a work in progress and it's hashtag whip or something like that, then you usually get ooh, that sounds good, or a comment or likes and stuff. But I figure, well, if I'm posting from my Facebook author page, it just doesn't get the views unless I attach some kind of picture.
Well, Facebook author pages, that might be something you were upstairs for.
Oh, sorry.
But no. I was just saying, I actually encourage people to not spend too much time on them.
Oh, really?
Because unless you put money into it. If Facebook just doesn't show your followers very much.
I think I got into it in a heyday where it was still kind of valuable, so I have the people there, but yeah.
And that helps, and we've already got the audience. I've got a fairly good following. I don't even remember what it is right now, but it's still only a tiny percentage of people interact. But yes, visual posts still do better. I mean, that's just a bit of our brains at work there. But it's kind of excuse me, if you want people to actually read the text, we don't actually know if that's what they're doing or not.
Right.
But adding a picture or a video or something makes it more likely they'll see it. Sure.
Yeah,
Why not?
For my personal author page, I've got about 2,400 followers and about 50 people see it.
Yeah,
So-
that's weird because I post on my Facebook author page. I post links to my blog posts. I post pictures that have terrible grammatical issues, and I call them job security. And I share links to random fun stuff that I find online, and I do free story idea. And that's literally the only thing I do on my author page. I have about 300 followers. I usually get at least 100 views.
That's really
I
good.
feel like that's actually a really good.
So in your case, and I would be interested in knowing why, I'm actually going to now look at your author page a little more. I wonder if part of it, and I know
But if I wrote a post of just text, I would get 8 views.
So
So
Facebook is okay. So that's interesting. An observation that Facebook pages do seem to actually show more to your followers if there's a visual component. And I will say, that's interesting. And one of the things, Facebook is a bit like Google in the way they sometimes will change things around a bit.
Yeah.
But that's good to know. And
So, like, just for instance, like, I have 2650 on my Facebook author page, and I posted a picture last night, and it got 480.
yeah, that's not bad actually for that. And on a Friday night, no less.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know.
So yeah,
I
okay.
just posted a picture of my legs, and it already got viewed 28 times.
It's weird. It seems like it's
Facebook algorithm.
Yeah.
It seems like they'll like let you have like one post that gets big for a few days, and then
Yeah.
they crush down all the rest of the posts. For
Interestingly enough, now this is weird and random, but if you post infrequently, it will actually recycle your last post.
Really?
So, just so you people who are actually good at keeping up with your followers know, Facebook will recycle your oldest post, your newest post, to the people it hasn't shown it to.
Oh.
If you don't post all of the time.
Oh, really?
Because I have things that I posted months ago because I post so infrequently on my other page suddenly go up just a little bit.
Oh, weird.
So, and this is the thing with these algorithmic kinds of issues with something like a Facebook page is, you know, everyone seems to have this different experience.
Yeah.
You know, so there you go. Apparently visual is good. More people may see it. If it's something really, really, really important, post it more than once over a few days. Maybe that's another way. Mike?
All right, so I just took a picture of you with my Instagram app, and I'm going to post it on my profile. I picked the hashtag DogCon5, like
Yeah.
what everybody's doing.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
what would you recommend I add to this to publicize your work or the conference?
Hacker.
Authors of Instagram.
Authors of Instagram. Authors of Instagram.
And to author life.
Yeah, hashtag white line.
I was going to make a self-deprecating joke like Tyler Redhead, but I don't know. But yeah, no, that's we got
Oh, that's only a hundred.
yeah, but and I'm just at Beverly Bambury. It's
I got
I'm
you
easy,
there.
easy to find. Yeah, it's not a mystery to find me. So,
So the other thing that I do for Instagram when I'm hashtagging things is hashtags will start populating.
Yes.
When you start typing them in.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll sometimes throw in hashtags that I don't often
Yeah,
use
exactly.
based on stuff that
I'm gonna repeat that because that's something that I actually make use of. On Instagram, hashtags will auto-populate as you type. Once you type that pound symbol and you say put an author or writer, you're gonna see what other tags are and how many times they've been used.
Yes.
And so if it's a popular one, like I actually put when I went to the beach yesterday and I had a picture of like the wind blowing my hair, I hashtag windy, which had like, I don't know, 12 million uses or something. Now, it's not a promotional post, don't really care, but you know, other people who maybe, I don't know, like wind, like they might look for that. They might see, oh, look at this awesome picture of this lady's hair blowing around. Like, you just never know. There's a lot of discoverability that way. But yeah, author life,
writing life,
writing life, like, and just play around with words. Because of that auto-populated, you can play around with words and just kind of see what's coming up. So yeah, for sure. And sometimes you never quite know what you're going to find, and some of it might be scary, but most of the time it's pretty good. So I think that was about out of time.
Yeah, I was just gonna come up and
Yeah.
thank you for
Yay!
I'm just gonna be doing another presentation tomorrow, and I know we just kind of got started with some really great content, but we're going to tour a brewery, so we're gonna need to leave.
It starts right here, everyone. It starts right here.
Oh, you wanna just say where people can find you on the web?
Oh, yeah, right. See, promoting myself sometimes. I'm not always very good at that. I'm at BeverlyBambury.com. It's very easy. Again, if you Google me, I'm very easy to find. Same thing on, again, Instagram, at Beverly Bambury, Twitter, at Beverly Bambury. I decided to not go creative on the handles. So that's it. And yeah, if you have any questions about anything, if you're here in person, we can talk about it over the weekend. If you're online, feel free to tweet at me or email me at BeverlyBambury.com. And, you know, and I'd be glad to try to clarify anything or answer your questions.
All right,
Thank you.